Hello and welcome to Songkla Rajapat University's MOOC course English for Communication 1. Today we're looking at Unit 6, talking about feelings, our health and well-being. In this video, we're going to cover language in use, talking about how are you feeling, and some of the vocabulary you might use if you visit a doctor. What seems to be the problem? We'll also talk about grammar, look a little bit at present simple tense. We're going to look at examples of regular and irregular verbs. And finally, the third part, the vocabulary as usual. Look at describing feelings using adjectives with ed or ing endings, which you might recognize as verbs as well. We'll also use different ways to use words like health and well-being, and a few words to say something is painful, aches and pains. As always, there is a pre and post test for you to check your understanding. So, an interesting statement worth considering. According to the World Health Organization, health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, not merely or not just the absence of disease or infirmity. And that's an important idea, where when we talk about our health, it's not just your body physically, but also, particularly during times with COVID and isolation, mental health or social health, having friends to talk to, overcoming stress and depression is all part of being healthy and when we talk about our health. So let's take a look at the first unit, the first part of Unit 6, language in use. When we talk about our health, how are you? How do you feel? What seems to be the problem? Are you feeling better? All phrases we may use to ask, how are you? And we obviously answer the common, I'm fine, thank you. And you? There's lots of other things we can say. I've been under a lot of stress. I'm eating healthily. I'm so excited. I was feeling tired all the time. And we'll look at a few examples of things we may say to talk about sickness or pain, a sore leg, a stomach ache, just minor cuts and bruises, a pain in my something. So we're going to take a look at this example, a quick monologue. This is someone talking about their lifestyle and how they felt unhealthy or healthy. So I'll read through and then we'll break it down as we have in the past. Last year I was under a lot of stress at work. I was eating junk food and drinking too much while doing no exercise. I had aches and pains everywhere and I felt tired all the time. My skin looked awful, and hardly a week went by that I didn't have a stomach ache or was under the weather in some way. I was feeling pretty sorry for myself and didn't want to see anyone. I stopped liking what I saw in the mirror and decided I needed to change, become a new me. I started by simply eating more healthily and began walking for 30 minutes every day, which I slowly built up to longer sessions and then added other activities like the gym and football 3 times a week. The first few days were hard. I still ached and was tired, but in a good way. After a month, I started to really feel better. I had lost 5 kilograms and now had more energy. That was 6 months ago. And I've stuck to it and never felt better. Now I just feel happy and proud when I see the new me in the mirror. So this is someone talking about their life and their health. And as you can see, we use lots of phrases. How are you feeling? I was under a lot of stress. So we're under pressure or under a lot of stress. It means you have a lot of people asking you to do things and a lot of responsibility, which is causing you to worry. Stress can be very dangerous and often leads to other bad habits that are not healthy. Some of the things that are unhealthy, giving examples, I was eating junk food. Junk food means anything that's got low nutritional value or too much fat, too much sugar, things like that. And drinking too much. When we say I drink too much, we mean alcohol. It's not drinking too much coffee. If that was the case, we'd have to add coffee. While doing no exercise. Another part of being healthy is physical exercise to work out, keep your heart healthy and your weight down. So at this time when I was stressed, I did no exercise. I had aches and pains. We use that phrase to mean everything in my body was sore. I move and go, ow, oh, oh, ow, everywhere. And I felt tired all the time. I was low on energy. So I felt it's in the past. I feel tired. I felt tired. My skin looked awful. A sign that you're not so healthy is your skin may look dry, oily, or you get spots and pimples. Hardly a week went by that I didn't have a stomachache. Stomachache is one way to say feeling sick, pain in your stomach that won't go away. Or was under the weather. Under the weather is an idiom to mean sick or feeling unwell. I was feeling pretty sorry for myself. I was feeling sad. I was feeling unhappy. I was feeling depressed. And didn't want to see anyone. So this is getting into a little bit of a mental area and social. I was feeling depressed, stressed, sad. I didn't want to see anyone. I didn't want to meet my friends or family, just to be alone. I stopped liking what I saw in the mirror. This is another phrase where we really mean I'm not happy with myself. I don't like what I'm doing. I'm eating badly, no exercise. I don't like it. I'm not happy with the person I see. So I needed to change, become a new me. And that's just a phrase you can use to mean changing your lifestyle, becoming different. So how did this person get better? I started eating more healthily. So we could just say I started eating healthily, but more healthily than I was in the past. And began walking for 30 minutes every day. This addresses my no exercise. Start by walking, which I built up, meant increase to make more than 30 minutes a day, longer sessions, 40 minutes, 50 minutes. Then add extra, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I do something else, like go to the gym or play football, just 3 times a week, building up the exercise, everyday walking, and a little more. He comes back to talk about how that made him feel or change. At the beginning, the first few days were hard. It was difficult, not easy to stop. Aches and pains from earlier and felt tired. Was still feeling aches and pains, was still tired. But now, in a good way. What we mean by that is having aches and pains where you feel sore when you move or just no energy is bad. But if you've been exercising, you may still feel sore. Oh, my muscles hurt. But they hurt because you've been good. So it hurts in a good way. It's a different type of ache and pain, and it feels rewarding. We saw the difference. I started to really feel better after 1 month. Body weight went down. I had lost 5 kilograms and had more energy. So if you have more energy, you're not as tired. That was 6 months ago, and I've stuck to it. I've continued exercising and never felt better. I feel really good now. Now, today, I just feel happy and proud. Being proud is pleased that you've achieved something. So in this case, sticking to exercise, losing weight, having more energy. I like the new me. I like what I see in the mirror. A couple of example conversations. The first one here we're going to look at quickly. This is in a doctor's office. What seems to be the problem? Or what's wrong? I fell off my bike the other morning. I wasn't really hurt, just a few minor cuts and bruises, a grazed knee sort of thing. But I'm worried as it happened because I felt dizzy and almost fainted. I see. Had you been riding for long and had you eaten anything? About half an hour, and no, I skipped breakfast. But I cycle for longer than that every weekend, and it's never happened before. It can be pretty scary, but as you seem otherwise healthy, it was probably just low blood sugar, as you hadn't eaten. We'll do a few blood tests just to be safe and keep an eye on the situation. So probably not serious. Well, that's good. Thanks, doctor. I'll definitely have breakfast next time. So this is someone speaking to their doctor about a problem. They had an accident. I fell off my bike. Not serious though. Just minor cuts and bruises. A cut is when we break the skin. Often it will happen with a knife. If something sharp, you cut your finger, cut your hand. Bruises when you hit a solid object, you come up with darker coloration. A bruise. A grazed knee sort of thing. If you fall off a bike and your leg hits the ground, where it scrapes along the ground, the skin comes off. That's called a graze. So cuts, bruises and grazes, minor injuries. And his real concern, because he felt dizzy. Dizzy is when you lose balance. When you stand up and you go, oh, almost if you've ever been drunk or too hot, sometimes it can make us feel dizzy. And I almost fainted. Fainted is when you collapse, fall down because you lose, almost like falling asleep for no reason. Just, so he didn't quite faint, but felt dizzy riding a bike and, oh, fall off. The doctor asked about what his habits were. Had he been riding for a long time? Had he eaten anything? Maybe too much exercise with no water or food could be a problem. And his answer, about half an hour, how long he'd been riding. And no, I skipped breakfast. So he's answering both the doctor's questions. He also adds, I cycle more than half an hour every weekend. So it's not happened before, it's new. And the doctor wants to reassure him that fainting can be very frightening. You might be worried and concerned, but you look healthy, you exercise. It may be just unusual. This time you are dehydrated, too hot. Low blood sugar means that in your body you need a certain amount of sugar, especially to exercise. And if we don't have it, we can feel very sick. So the doctor will do some blood tests to be safe, check if there's any other problem, and keep an eye on the situation, check up. So our friend is reasonably happy, so probably not serious. It's not really dangerous. Maybe I don't need to worry so much. Thank you, doctor. And the next time I cycle, I'll have breakfast. So lots of words and phrases you can try applying and using or amending to fit you and your communication. The last example. This is a little more about our mental health situation. A friend talking to someone they haven't seen in a while. And this happens a lot with COVID at the moment. People are trapped at home. Hi Sam, how are you feeling? I'm so bored. I loved the work from home when it started, but after weeks of no human contact, I'm excited about going into the office. Oh dear, that's depressing. Tell me about it. Well, I called because things are relaxing now. So a few of us are meeting up for lunch tomorrow if you fancy saving your sanity. 12:30 at the Plough. Count me in. I think I'm feeling better already just knowing I'm getting out to see other real people. So here the health bit is about the way we feel mental health. Feeling lonely and no social contact. Being alone. How are you feeling? I'm bored, I'm lonely, I liked working from home at the beginning, but after a long time, not having anyone to talk to, it starts to make you feel sad and depressed. So I'm excited about going to the office. You can see the words we use, the adjectives bored and excited, we're using to describe our feelings. How do you feel? I feel excited. I feel bored. Oh dear, that's depressing. Tell me about it. Tell me about it's a phrase just to mean I agree, I know, I understand that's depressing. So we don't actually want the person to tell us anything. And the friend is offering a lifeline. Things are relaxing now. So this is the beginning to relax. This is referring to the rules. You can't go to a restaurant You can't eat out with more than 2 people, and so on. So they're relaxing the rules. You can go out. A few of us are meeting for lunch. If you fancy, if you would like to, if you want to, saving your sanity. If you want to save your sanity, if you fancy saving your sanity means your mental health. You're sane or you're crazy, insane. And then their arrangement. Where are they meeting? 12:30 at the Plough. The Plough will be the name of a pub or a hotel or restaurant that they can go to. Count me in. Yes, I will come. I think I'm feeling better already. I've been bored. I'm now happy because I know I'll get to meet other real people. Just knowing something to look forward to is making the person feel better. So lots of little phrases. We can use these. How do you feel? I'm bored. I'm excited. I'm depressed. And we'll look more at how we use the ed endings and ing endings later. Thank you very much for watching the video. Hopefully you can use some of those phrases to talk about yourself and build up your vocabulary speaking about health and well-being.